Greetings from the International Financial Centre in Hong Kong, and welcome to the first video cast in the LFMA's new Geopolitics and Markets series, in which I shall be trying to cut through all the political noise to get to what really matters to investors. Inevitably, Donald Trump, the principal author of the ongoing chaos by design, is set to loom large in this series, not least in this first episode, which looks at the impending reciprocal tariffs. So much uncertainty still surrounds what will be announced on 2 April that I could easily be talking for 30 minutes rather than the 5 which I'm allotted. So let's get started straight away with just 4 key questions. First, the who. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has talked about the Dirty 15, which sounds relatively limited. But counting the EU as 27, the USTR has a list of 47 economies of, quotes, particular interest, which it claims account for 88% of US trade in goods. I expect most of those to take a hit of some sort. The second, the when. I stand by my long-held view that it will be tariffs first, talks later, so with immediate effect. Third, how much. The single number applied to each of these economies, or maybe tiers of economies, will not be objective. By sweeping in non-tariff barriers to market access, there will inevitably be a high degree of subjectivity even before Mr. Trump and his trade guru, Peter Navarro, inject their own preferences and prejudices. Fourth, to what end? We all know that the Trump tariffs are meant to achieve a number of goals, but for Mr. Bessent and Chair of the Council of Economic Advisors, Steve Mirren, both of whom have a strong voice just now, the principal aim is to bring trading partners to the table to agree a so-called Mar-a-Lago Accord. It's actually misleading to think of this as a second Plaza Accord, as its main objective is setting up a system of managed exchange rates, which, in their view, would facilitate Mr. Trump's goal of re-industrializing America while retaining the dollar's global primacy. This dovetails with the US president's deliberate accelerating of the arguably inevitable, at this stage in the geopolitical crisis, dissolution of the post-1945 US-led international order in favor of multipolarity, which, for Mr. Trump, means spheres of influence for the US, China, and Russia. The path with Russia, in which the US sees Ukraine as a pawn which can be sacrificed, is already well trodden. But whether the US can strike a similar grand bargain with China on these lines is a big unknown, even with Taiwan playing the part of Ukraine. As for Europe, if Mr. Trump's animus towards the EU was not already apparent, the remarkable leaked exchange among senior officials at the start of this week should have removed any remaining blinkers. The inevitable Trump tariffs will not be aimed principally at trading goods, but at digital sales taxes and VAT, making doing a deal very hard indeed. The EU will retaliate with its own tariffs, and further escalation will likely follow. Wall Street has still not taken this fully on board. One way or the other, we're in for a long and bumpy road ahead. And yet, I am cautiously optimistic about what this all means for Europe and the euro in the medium term, as are investors with whom I am speaking in Asia. However, this is a topic for another day. For now, just keep in mind that whatever 2 April brings, Mr. Trump is not fooling, and at best, it will mark no more than the end of the beginning in the tariff wars. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed.